when I was like, imagine me reading this like as a rapper, like years ago. Like this shit happened. Like my heart beating. I'm like, damn. It's bloggers sitting around in secret smoke-filled back rooms plotting on the niggas that they gonna get on. I didn't stand a chance. Like I was really shook. Like reading this shit. In the early 2010s, all these artists, all these new fresh rappers was coming from all these different places, and it was powered by the blogs. You had like I say about like 10 central blogs in hip hop where every morning you wake up, all the new music, rap news would be there. Like you wouldn't check Facebook, you wouldn't check Twitter, you wouldn't check Instagram. You go check your favorite rap blog. My favorite rap blog was Two Dope Boys. With so many hip hop fans having their own blogs that they went to get that information, the fucking blog owners had power to put on artists that they liked. You know what I'm saying? They had the power to create, you know what I'm saying, hype for artists because they was all friends. And so if 4 or 5 blogs got on the same page and it was cool, you could see how it'd be easy to put a rapper on. And so this story is basically about how ASAP Yams did that for ASAP Rocky. The one thing that I really was curious about, at what point does the artist go from putting out his music to being the guy that has music that the people want to listen to? Because you got artists that just make music and people not really checking for them, and then you got artists that people like their music, people checking for the music, people sharing for it, people engaging with it, and I was always curious, how do you get from the point of just making it to being that artist? And so this article, it opened my eyes a lot to that. And so without any further ado, I'm gonna get into it. So they asked him, the first time you heard about ASAP Rocky. The first time I heard a song from ASAP Rocky, I believe it was January 2011. Been around the world. To be honest, I don't remember what I thought about it back then at all. Today, I think it's a good tune, but at that time, I didn't especially dig it. It came to me as a guy named Eastside Stevie. Eastside Stevie is ASAP Yams. And Eastside Stevie had posted it on Real Nigga Tumblr. Basically, Real Nigga Tumblr was ASAP Yams's Tumblr page. This guy used to scan his old rap magazines like XXL and more, brightening it up with stories you couldn't read anywhere else. This concept was already really dope, but in addition to that, he had great taste, made no compromise, and had a strong sense of humor. It was thrilling, funny, harsh. Now the blog has been deleted, and I hope that someone comes out someday saying he printed it all, as I believe it's one of the best rap blogs ever, if not the best. 4 months later, between some Max B and Cameron stories, some rare Prodigy freestyles, and vintage footages of Puff Daddy, Eastside Stevie brings out a new ASAP Rocky joint, Purple Swag. It sounds like an MP3 rip, the song being uploaded on YouTube with the guy's picture as scenery. Today, everyone knows it, but at that time, hearing this out of nowhere, I was kind of stuck. Maybe it'd be good to reestablish the context right now. In 2013, 90% of weak rappers with a lack of personality look after those stuff and try to do that kind of music. Yet back then, it wasn't cool, again, to rap as they do in Houston. And Houston was honestly kind of lifeless. People hadn't heard neither of Lex Luger yet, nor the stuff that were going to be everywhere for the next 2 years, talking about all the turn up and trap shit. So running in a Purple Swag was like being 2 years in the future of rap music, even though this track could totally be an unreleased from 2006 or 2005. So it motivated me to dig into ASAP Rocky. I see he has nothing on that Piff, nothing on live mixtapes. In short, he's a no-name. So I look into the hidden depths of the internet, and I eventually find some verses of him here and there, and even a video. I rip the whole thing and make a little compilation out of it. For the record, I didn't know how to rip audio from YouTube. I ended up making a cover with Microsoft Paint, uploading the compilation on the internet, and putting it on my blog. At the time, it's not that it gets out of control. It doesn't spread that much yet. Something like 3 or 4,000 downloads, maybe less. But we're now 2 or 3 talking about ASAP Rocky on the web. That's 2 or 3 blogs, what he means. Including Nas, a journalist, these bloggers, man, who's writing kind of everywhere. Enough to bring the attention of the artist himself, who probably begins to wonder, damn, they talking about ASAP Rocky. Damn, nobody knows me. I haven't officially released anything yet, but they're talking about me on the web. And that's when Eastside Stevie, Yams, with whom I had chatted sometime in the past, sends me an email to clarify the whole story around ASAP. ASAP Yams starts telling me that Rocky is really touched by the compilation coming out of nowhere, punctuating every sentence like no homo. Even though there are some tracks he hates and he rather forget, like the one with Seth Gnarly, he tells me ASAP is a crew. Him and Rocky kind of driving the whole thing. I remember he compared both of them to Jim Jones and Cameron in order to make me get it right. Then, still in the same email, April 2011, he tells me Rocky's currently working on his album, that he's been signed into a management deal, I guess, on the company which manages Big Crit and which also is in charge of Currency's booking. I think at the time that was Johnny Shipes. That was Johnny Shipes. He goes on saying they hope to drop the mixtape by summer. See, this is when mixtapes was still, you know what I'm saying? Niggas wanted to make albums, make mixtape albums. Coming along with many videos, and that so far the project is being produced by the Olympics, Big Crit, and their in-house producer. He says it will come out via the clothing brand Supreme, which is about to sponsor them. He eventually encloses the 11-track full ASAP project entitled Mouthful of Gold, kind of a preview of what his first release would have been like, with some DJ Burn One, Olympics, and Ty Beats produced joints. Then begins a long series of emails in which he explains to me the kind of strategy he has in mind. He goes, a strategy consisting of what? Consisting of making Rocky blow up thanks to blog support. But not just any random blogs. In letters, their manager is trying to model them to fit in with two dope boys, nah right. The Get High video with Ferg to me was about that in him. Okay, so if y'all don't know the Get High video, see what he means when he was saying that they tried to mold them for the two dope boys, nah right. You know what I'm saying? For the hipster crowd. The hipster hip hop crowd was, you know, very prominent, you know, as fans of the blog era. You know, the guys that wore streetwear like what, 10 Deep, Carhartt, BBC, you know what I'm saying, that were in the partying, you know, with girls and drinking and getting high, smoking reefer. All of that was used to help market them to this audience, okay? The Get High video with Ferg to me was about that. Stevie, he's not into that. ASAP Yams, he wasn't fucking with that. Why? I mean, not at all. So he tries to connect some other rappers and producers to reach a different audience. He starts name dropping all the folks with whom he plans to collaborate. It sounds like an all-star game of what was critically acclaimed by all the specialized rap blogs at the time. Young L, Droop E, Clams Casino producing, main attractions as well. That was the cloud rap. You know, that was the beginning of the cloud rap era. Okay, so May, June 2011. Except for the compilation I uploaded, which is still not spreading that much. You can't find any of the songs online, but already some majors looking for signing him, such as Atlantic Records. These guys already offered them a fine contract, which I don't know any detail about, but they refuse it. They won't go into Rocky's album would have been directed by Wiz Khalifa's A&R, who wants to make them a pop product with an overdose of wild homo guitars. Still aiming at seducing a certain audience, which I personally would consider a real nigga Tumblr's audience after all. Stevie tells me he wants to shoot a Purple Swag video, kind of a remake of the Prodigy Mac 10 handle. In the meantime, he sends me over 2 new Clams Casino produced track, Palace and What's Up. Ooh, no what's up, can we roll one up? I've been chilling on that reefer, got me high. Now, man, that was a beautiful time in rap. End of May, early June, the Purple Swag video is already shot, and they start making a new one for each track on the tape. Their idea is to do like Lil B in a way. Basically, Lil B like made a new video almost every other day. Like he was like every song that Lil B came out with, he was shooting a video. Like as soon as he made the song, you know what I'm saying? Like Lil B used to run YouTube. Like I believe he had like thousands of videos, you know what I'm saying? Like he would just freestyle songs and then go shoot the video. He directed all of them himself. Like this was a different time in the game. Their idea is to do like Lil B in a way, having a new video each week during the summer, and then I don't know what happens. They give up on the video. Yams asked me to remove all the songs I put online. This is when shit gets heavy. Peso, Diamonds, to delete quite a few other stuff and not to communicate anymore. I understand that things are happening fast for them. They go back and shoot another video for Purple Swag. They launch it, and that's when you could tell this when the label got involved. Wait. They give up on the video. Stevie asked me to remove all the songs I put online, to delete quite a few other stuff, and not to communicate anymore. I understand that things are happening fast for them. They go back and shoot another video for Purple Swag. They launch it early July on Real Nigga Tumblr, my blog, and a couple of more such as Yayo Dancing. From now on, everybody knows what's up as they are officially out. First video works very well, but the one that really hits is Peso. And as Deep Purple, the small compilation made of YouTube rips, is still the only Rocky project available out there, it's being more and more downloaded, easily going over 100,000. So now the majors start to quiver, I guess. I guess they do, as they were already in touch with labels before. Plus the way things happen, I think their record deal with Sony was almost signed even before the new Purple Swag video came out, and they just didn't tell anyone. There were probably some details to be fixed, and the viral success of those videos encountered probably helped in exaggerating some figures in the end. But to me, it was already almost done before they went really famous. About that, the so-called $3 million deal is not exactly the one that had been given to the general public. Do you have some details? No, I don't. What I know and what I believe I know is that about $1.5 million for A$AP Rocky as a solo artist and $1.5 million for A$AP Mob, without even knowing what exactly it means. But I really don't think they currently have $3 million in their wallet. Once again, I don't know their details as I never had to see the contract. But regarding this deal so many talked about, I'm not convinced that's the best idea they had. He signed away his whole shit for $3 million. Like I guarantee you that whole run of his first album and that mixtape, he probably pulled at least $10 million, and he would have been able to keep his masters too. But he signed. All right, if their success is indeed viral, which everything seems to demonstrate, hold by social medias, Tumblr, YouTube, etc. Roughly, if they were supported as indie artists as they seem to be, it meant they already had a large audience, so they didn't need that deal. By remaining independent, you would have got 100% of everything their music generates, from MP3 sales to YouTube ads, live tours, clothing brands in their case. When you have millions of views in less than a month on several of your videos, if you're smart and you're able to handle it, a lot more money can go into your pocket rather than signing such a deal. Furthermore, your masters still belong to you. Now, I bet everything you want that the music guys are dropping legally doesn't belong to them anymore. Wow. Go ask Mac Miller or Macklemore what kind of money comes into their pocket at the end of the year. I'm 300% sure it's 10 times what the whole A$AP Mob crew is making all together, and they remain the owners of their masters. I think what made them sign is the promise of relative artistic freedom. Roughly, your albums will be just as you want it to be. Yeah, the same as being indie, right? We get to this theory according to ain't no such thing as a spontaneous boom in this new worldwide music industry driven by the internet. Is that I personally hardly believe in a spontaneous boom happening on the web. Yeah, some folks with just a video on YouTube without having approached anyone first, without having a manager who signed a contract for several millions with a major label 5 weeks afterward. I believe that's part of the stories that feed into marketing. Also, allowing musical journalists enabled to speak a word about music to have something to say. But that's not exactly what I wanted to highlight here. Thing is, for the US market, when you have a thrilled audience already existing, I doubt signing with a major is the best option. I believe Macklemore is now a role model in this field. A$AP Rocky had everything under control, so he could handle his career the same way. I'm sure he would have sold the same amount of albums and would have made more money. But that's true. They couldn't have fronted like, yo, we got $3 million deal, when it's actually, yo, I'm paying that percentage of what I earned to Mr. So-and-so, and my masters don't belong to me no more. By the way, the guy who built the A$AP Rocky buzz, Stevie Yams, has now been put aside, hasn't he? Stevie became A$AP Yams indeed. He's credited on both the album and mixtape as executive producer, so I think he's still involved in the artistic choices. I guess he will also be on the next A$AP Ferg album to be released. I don't know if he plays another role but this one today. He's still with them touring and shit. But for a few months, he seems to be busier with West Coast rappers. He manages them and advises them and helps them, and thanks to connections he developed during the A$AP Mob adventures, like Joey Fats for instance, but I don't know more precisely. Nowadays, the few interactions I got with him through a Facebook group we have involving a bunch of guys who've been part of this story are close enough for the last. When I was, like, imagine me reading this, like, as a rapper, like, years ago. Like, this shit happened, like, my heart beating. I'm like, damn, it's bloggers sitting around in secret smoke-filled back rooms plotting on the niggas that they gonna get on. I didn't stand a chance. Like, I was really shook, like reading this shit. There's definitely some artists that are being helped by some blogs. It can be explained by friendliness, as artists eventually get closer with bloggers and journalists. For instance, there is one blog of a skating clothing brand talking a lot about rap music. This is exactly what I'm saying. Rappers they highlight always have a small success thanks to their support. And after chatting here and there, I realized that it's just a huge friendliness network. Neither the rappers nor the bloggers are completely aware of it. And there's also some quite vicious stuff. Here's a funny one. Man, this is one tripped me out. We took someone from the group who didn't know how to rap. Someone ghostwrited his lyrics, and we made him rap on some beat from a producer everyone would know. One after the other, every blogger from the group wrote stuff about to explain why it was dope. It worked, but even more than everything we could have imagined. As the artist was highly praised by all the tastemaker blogs, for real, we found him in some year-end blog lists from boneheaded hipster websites nearly interested in rap. Some articles saying it was revolutionary, including some big players like Complex, Fader, Spin, Pitchfork, and now, well, this artist has a career. Not amongst the rap audience, but amongst kind of retarded hipsters who love to believe they listen to rap music. It's a hit. This artist is touring now, hanging around with stars and shit. I think I won't reveal his identity for now, but someday someone will for sure. Wow. That shit tripped me out.